Oh, that looks a lot better.
So,
Yeah.
This way. Like that. And then I'll just move this way.
Perfect.
A wolf pack. Who's hungry?
I think the craziest thing is like when we look at this type of shit, it's like oh, this is just people acting. Like, right? Like, this is people like putting on a show and like trying to tell jokes and tell people something that like make them laugh. But overall, it's real. Like, it's reality in its own way.
Yeah, exactly. Because you just can't sit here and be with a script. People nowadays, they're gonna notice that.
Bro,
They're gonna call you out.
I've seen so many things where like people are just like, and on today's news, we are having wild winds. And,
just reading.
And I'm like, bro, stop fucking reading and just look and tell the truth. It's not that fucking
Just be
hard.
yourself. Just be yourself. It's like, why? And I understand because there's so many people on YouTube that are like super like, hey guys, I am. It's like, bro, like not everybody. That's maybe their style.
Yeah.
But
bro, that was like YouTube from 2012 to like now.
Like,
people still do it, and I'm like, yo, I think there was some sort of guy like Ned Flanders or something like that, and he would be like the guy that was like screaming all the time, like, and it was just like, bro, Fred,
yeah,
bro,
yeah,
it got really intense at some point. I was like, bro, when does dude act in reality? Like, when does he get the break? You know what I'm saying? Like iCarly and all those people, like they grow old, they get older. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be like that forever. It just doesn't work.
No, that's true.
And I think that everybody gets caught up in the video games of artificial, like this play make believe, and it's just like you have to come to reality at some point.
I mean, there has to be a middle ground because too extreme is too much, and then not enough, it's just boring. So, I mean, you can have a sense of like, I'm gonna follow the script, but not follow the script.
Yeah. Not only do you feel like you have to give back when you listen to an Alex Hormozy like podcast or something, it's just like, you know how he makes that plug in, he's like, hey, if you make it to like $100 million and you want to make it to $300 million, go to acquisition.com.
Exactly.
Like you want to make it to 100 million. So you're like, bro, Alex, come on, plug me in, bro. Let me see the rest. The cost part, right? Like it's like, fuck it. Like, I've been listening to so much free shit now I gotta see what it is.
Exactly. He gives so much free, and it makes sense that you're like, what does he have? If he's giving it for free, and this is really good, I cannot imagine what he has behind like the closed doors. Right. So you're like, here, just take my money. What do you have for me?
Bro, it's literally straight out of the meme. Like, shut up and take my money.
Exactly.
Like, bro, man, it's crazy. When you change your listening from just music, like I listen to 72,000 something minutes of music, and I wrote it on my wall. Damn. I wrote it on my wall, like we have this little Sharpie thing by the stairs. We created all those little art pieces. So like some of the kids came over, did all that, and I wrote down, because I got my Spotify like year thing, whatever, and it told me how many minutes, and I told somebody, and they were like, bro, that's a lot of music.
That's a lot.
Imagine what I would have did with that if I would have listened to some stuff, like some podcasts, some episodes. I didn't know what podcasts and stuff like that were, to be honest. Like, I didn't know where to find it. Nobody would tell me like what you can look at it on. And one day somebody said something about a podcast, and I wrote that shit down so fast, typed it in my phone, and then all of a sudden the podcast world like super opened up.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because like we were saying in the first podcast, is like you only know what's here in this room. Mm-hmm. There's so much more out there. So yeah, I didn't know until Rhett and Link, they came around. YouTubers.
I'm still gonna have to check him out.
Yeah, you got like, hey guys, like he doesn't know who Red Alert Link is.
I'm sorry. Look, man, the Navy did a lot. All right, I'm still living in like 2019 when I left.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I think to put y'all in perspective, right? I was playing For Honor and Forbidden. No, just Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
That. And for the people that don't play video games, I was watching fucking Twilight or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it was like, bro, it was like Jersey Shore type shit. Like, that's what I remember, going in the Navy. So like all that shit in between, I was just trying to learn and trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah. No, since then I was just like learning. Like I would every day, like listening to them, watching their show and stuff like that. So from them plugging in, hey, we have a podcast, and I was like, the heck is a podcast?
Yeah.
And I started listening to it. Yeah. But yeah.
So on the first podcast episode, we didn't really talk to you guys or say who we were or anything like that. So
True.
That's on us for sure. So let us go ahead and plug that in, like right in this segment. And I'll call this the Who Are We? So basically, I'm going to go through a couple questions.
Yeah.
And that way we can kind of both get something out there to explain kind of what our mission is here for the podcast, what we do as people, and that way we know you're not sitting here listening to two people just fucking around like that don't do anything with their lives.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things that I want to ask first, who am I and where have I come from?
My name is Chris. I go by Chris, but my name is Christopher, and I am from Puerto Rico. A small island, poor, but now I am a business owner. I run CULC here down in Florida, and it's my third year, and it's gone really good. I like everything at first. Well, it's hard, but we just here to give you guys free game, what we have gone through, our experiences, and just try to see if we can help anybody out there, and learn from others.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you can learn a lot from everyone. Like that's no joke. Like anybody who believes that they are all knowing literally knows nothing. Like
they're missing out on a lot.
And doesn't understand that there's more knowledge always to attain. That's why they say knowledge is power. Because literally, like, the more you wish to attain, you can obviously go overboard with it, but when you want to keep getting more for yourself and giving back that knowledge, you can be willing to receive more knowledge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's really important to not see yourself as like the mentor of everybody else, because really a child has taught me a lot of different things, and I've learned that as being a father. Like swear.
That's
how have your life choices and what you've done up to today kind of affected you?
That's a good question. I say embrace failure. I know it's hard to do, and they teach you not to embrace failure in school, but if you can fail fast, fail forward, I'm telling you, you start even wanting to fail.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but you want to fail because that's how you learn.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, now I know, like you said, knowledge is power. Now I know what not to do.
Yeah.
And you can craft whatever you're doing to be a master at it. But you never stop learning. But yeah, life has hit me hard, but perspective. How do you take it? It's all mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the video I just made. I literally just made a video called Mental. Yeah. And I swear I felt so. Just real quick, I was doing a 180 and I hit the 180 and my back tire was like way too far and I was wheelied up. I was like, I'm gonna fall, and like spun, smacked on my back, and I was just like, fuck. Like I was so mad.
Yeah.
But it's like once I did, I was gonna stop and just be like, all right, fuck this. Like, no, man. I got back on the bike, did it again, landed it the fucking third try. Like it's and then at the end I go, it's mental, because it is. If you stop yourself right there when you fell and you failed, then you failed and you stopped. But if you get back up on your feet and you keep moving and you keep trying, you will do it. Yeah. It might not be with that specific thing. It might not be with this specific trick or game or life choice with that person. Sorry. No. It is what it is. You learn from that and you keep it moving.
Yeah.
You keep it moving.
That's for sure. Everything's mental. Like, I was talking to one of my friends, I think it was yesterday. Yeah. He was over and he was talking to me about the business and stuff like that. And I was telling him the biggest thing is, how strong are you mentally? Everybody likes to exercise different things. If you're a singer, you exercise your vocals, your chords, your melodies, whatever it is. Baseball player, you swing, your throw. BMX, you start practicing those things. But it all comes from how strong mentally are you. So if you're very strong mentally, like you said, you're going to get back in the bike and try to do it again. If you're not, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be much in life. I'm telling you that from experience. I was very weak mentally, and I would just quit right there, or look at everything in a negative way, negative perspective. And I tend to do that sometimes still, but I'm learning as I go. We're only humans, and you can only take too much.
That's true.
But it's okay to take time too, and just be like, you know what, I need time away from whatever it is. But don't quit. Recognize that you're just taking a little time, and time sometimes is good. Then just go back at it, fresh mind and fresh body, and just go for it.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said, for sure. One of the things I have here is turn your pain and hardship into motivation and foundation.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why I say that is because your pain and your hardship doesn't define you. It is a part of your story.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's not going to be difficult for the next week after something happens. It's not going to be difficult after the month. You don't know when the hardship's going to end. But just like everything else on a graph, it goes up and it comes down. It's waves, man. Like you can't control life. You can only control how you respond to it. And that's it. That's it. Yeah. Man. Like, it sounds like some feng shui. Oh shit. Like, bro, no, it's really up here, man. I've seen people complain themselves to death, like walk around and life is so bad. Like it's just hard, man. It's really difficult when you live like that. So you have to keep yourself going in some way. And then, like you said, it's okay to stop. Buddhists sit down and freaking meditate a lot.
Yeah.
But they get up and they do something after a little while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mental fortitude.
Yeah, man. That's the journey. It's the journey. Just how bad do you want it? Also, have a purpose. Have a compass. Have something that when you're down, you can be like, why am I doing this? The why. Everybody has something different. Might be you want to have money. You want to prove somebody, wrong or right or whatever, or you made a promise to somebody. So yeah, that's who I am, and in essence, you guys are gonna be able to know me a little bit more, both of us, a bit more during the journey. But enough about me. Shon.
Yo, it's your boy Serwolf, your melanin brother, whatever you may call me. I have been doing this YouTube thing for a good couple of years now. I definitely have videos on YouTube that probably shouldn't be on YouTube from childhood, but we're there, and I decided not to delete some of them, and it's been an interesting journey. I think that who I am today is a lot different than the man I've been over the last 2 decades. Just simply because I remember there was a lot of time when I was in the Navy that I was a really angry person, right? And it can happen to anybody. You can get caught up in life's big mix-up, but I think that what happens to you in your lifetime is your story, but it's not who you are, right? We have to take those experiences and realize that it shapes us into who we are, and it tells we tell our story from what those things are.
For sure.
So I was in the Navy for about 5 years. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois, and Columbia, Missouri. It was very different switching from Chicago to Missouri, because I went from everybody speaking like Ebonics and you know, all this bad stuff in the street and everything that was going on, to nicer neighborhoods, people driving nicer cars, and I was just like, what? People being friendly, like, hey, do you need a ride? I'm like, nah, man, I don't need no ride. Like, what you talking about, man? Like, you know, so changing the environment switched a lot of my mentality. I went to reading a lot better, changing the things that I was eating, you know, the friends I talked to, it extremely changed me.
Yeah.
So I believe that to this day, that's been the biggest factor in my ability to adapt to a different situation, because you just, in life, you have to adapt. You have to keep changing. You have to evolve.
That's true. That's a really good thing that you said right there, is environment. Environment is whoever thinks that environment does not shape who you are, trust me, you're wrong. Like, life is gonna hit you if you have 5 friends around you and they're all trash, and you think you're getting out of that. You could. It's gonna be very rare, because nothing is impossible, but more likely than not, you're gonna stick with your old habits and stuff like that, because nobody's progressing. So how you transferred from over there here and who you are now, it clearly shows, like the way you speak, the way you address yourself and all that.
Yeah.
It's just very different. Do you have any how do I say that? Like, your friends from childhood, do they look at you and be like, oh man, you're just so stuck up now, like you think you're better than me because you're blah blah blah?
Those people were never my friends in the first place.
Oh yeah.
But fuck them people, man. I do not care.
But you know what I mean.
But I know exactly what you mean. I've had, and this is hard to say, but I've had to cut a lot of people out of my life, and even to this day, there are some people in my life that don't have their own best intention, and therefore I feel sometimes that I'm wasting my time. And sometimes you let people just be who they are, and you move on, and you figure out when you will give that person time and when you won't. And that is the biggest factor. If you're hard at letting people go, that's something that you can do. You have to manage the time that you allot that person or that distraction. You know, it is what it is.
I want to do something like, anybody that's watching us, this is like a goal. We should start setting goals for our viewers and have them practice. It's like, try to not cut somebody completely off, but somebody that you know that is not doing great in your life, you will know. And just try to separate yourself little by little. Let's say you speak to this person 8 hours a day. Try to cut it down to 6, then cut it 4, and then you just keep cutting until you completely stop. Once you stop completely, you will now know how much that person affected your life in a negative way. And do the same thing opposite. The people who are there for you, try to give them more time, you know? So,
man, yo, that's good. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's really nice. I think that's a good idea. Definitely try it, and come back to this video, leave a comment under, or email us at serwolfpro.com. Shoot us an email, and we will go ahead and check it out, man. I really would love to hear if we're affecting people, if we're making a difference, because that's a big deal for people to actually try something new, you know. And a lot of the audiobooks that I've bought, the David Goggins Never Finished, another good one, Terry Crews Tough, you know. A lot of these people, they put out these challenges. The Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover, man. Shout out to Dave Ramsey, dude. Like, he's putting out knowledge for people and is saying, like, hey, this is what it is. If you don't make it a big deal, it won't be a big deal.
Exactly.
That person can waste your time and it not be a big deal. That's your time. You do not get that back. They're not printing time. It has not happened. So, you know, if you allot that person that time, you won't get it back. See what you're paying for.
Well, what you just said is it's really good. You said like people are not printing time. That's deep.
Yeah.
Because everybody's caught up in the money.
That's not
and
me. I'm just gonna say that now. I'm not gonna claim that.
Oh.
That's not me. So I took that straight out of somebody's book.
But see what happens when you read and you have knowledge and you read it for something. Yeah, and then you brought it to me. So you're like.
Shout out to Eric Thompson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm shouting out a lot of people because I want them to watch this and be like, "Yo, this young blood trying to say something."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's great. Everybody's focused on the money aspect of things, and reality is how you manage your time. That's it. That's a whole game. Like,
yeah.
When everything changed for me, it's when I understood money is not involved truly in the interaction I have with people. It's not. It just comes with what you provide for people.
People will see through your BS.
Oh,
so
especially
fast.
Top people.
Because they'll be like, you're not standing for what you say you're standing for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they'll be like, this guy is a joke.
Yeah.
And then he'll go and tell his actual 10 friends, right? Because he has 10 friends. And his 10 friends have 10 million friends. So then you become the person that's faking it.
Bro, and
the joke is on you.
I was just talking to my wife we were talking about how our business is it's 85, 90%. It's going. You said something very important. It's like most people or entrepreneurs or mentors or whoever it is, like we say 90%, and maybe you'll take that at face value. You'll be like, I gotta grind 90%, but it's knowing how to do your 90%. It's knowing how to balance it, because like you said, then you like neglect your wife, your kids, and everything, and then that's bad. Because what are you working for? Like, you're working to be able to hopefully accomplish something with your family, if you have a family, or you don't have like whatever it is, your friends or something. But you can't go so hard that everybody around your circle just hates you. You're like, this guy is blah blah blah. Your wife, he doesn't have time for you. Your kids are crying because you're not around.
I want to say this to be extremely clear. Stop trying to sell to your friends. When you are in entrepreneurship, stop thinking that when all these big corporate people say, oh, the first 10 people in your pocketbook should want to invest in your business. Oh, the first 10 people or the first couple of contacts or the people that you know should know what you do. That does not mean that they should buy the product from you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that is a big deal. I think that needs to really be said, because it's not being put out. Point. Yeah. It's a big deal. Like, I did not. Hold on. I'll say.
Said, my first 10, my first 50, my first 100 clients were never my friends, family, anything. Yeah. Like, I guess if they say that, it's mostly to have them aware of what you're doing, and then for word of mouth. But those who say, oh yeah, they're going to be my first 10 customers, probably in food. In food, I had a restaurant. In food, yes.
Yeah.
But anything else, to be honest, they don't care.
So, shameless plug, because I'm an insurance broker, one of my very first sales was actually my friend, so I'm not hypocritical, I'm going to tell the truth, was my friend, but it's because we both BMX and do wild things, and luckily my profession can protect the body. Yeah. So for me, giving that option and letting him know that there was something that I could help him with, because he had no coverage. Yeah. That if he broke a leg, he'd be like, I can't afford this. I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? People don't have that option sometimes. So that's where I love to help. And the fact that I still put my body into the shit, knowing that I now have it makes me feel like Superman a little bit, because I'm like, oh yeah, I got that shit covered. I got the plan, bro. So, it's like it's a good feeling. But there's times where there's times even then I'm just like, I don't want to offer it to a friend and then say something does happen, because that's happened as well. Yeah. Right before I had my insurance license, and I was so nervous to tell people about it, to tell my friends. One of my friends ended up breaking his leg. Shout out to Jonesy, man. Like, he ended up breaking his leg, and I felt like crap. Yeah. Because I didn't help him, and I had the tools to. Yeah. So then you see the opposite, right? So you have to understand that, no, don't sell to your first 10 friends, like try to push them to make them buy your product.
Exactly.
If it's going to genuinely help them and you believe in what you're selling or what you provide, then you do that. But don't add the pressure like, oh, you're my friend, you should stop.
Yeah.
If it happens, man.
Yeah.
Let that go. Move on to the next sale. Ask that person if they can help you in another way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not just referrals to people. Hey, I'm nervous about this pitch. Be a real, authentic person.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about this pitch. I need help with this. Do you mind practicing with me?
Yeah.
Either the friend is like, yeah, or the friend's like, nah. And 9 times out of 10, usually the friend that's like, nah, is like somebody that don't want to see you win. I'm just being honest. Just throwing in some little message. Just throwing a little bit in there because people need to know.
Yeah. But from what you just said, it's true. Like you said, you had something that he can benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody out there that wants to start a business, how many times has everybody said, help somebody, right? But I feel that they don't go deep enough into what they're trying to say. It's like, find something that is so good that they can't say no to, right? They just can't say no.
You have to elaborate because a lot of people have said that.
Yeah, but it's like
you gotta like just a little bit more juice out of it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, let's say it's just hard to explain because once you know, you know. I guess it's because of that. Once you know, it's so hard to put into words. Mm-hmm. But in my industry, I have the skill sets to help somebody, right? So if I know how to build a house, right? I'm helping somebody's needs and wants, and it's the want and the need are so high up, and I have what they want. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I need like, if you want to land a trick, and there's somebody out there, right, that knows how to land that trick, and knows, and you know that he's a pro, and his status is up here, and he comes to you and he's like, I'll show you, but I need $50. You're gonna give him that $50 because something like you really want, and he really knows. It's an exchange. It's not the money. It's an exchange of information. So
you will give him that $50, but if the person does not teach you the trick or does not provide you the ability to learn that trick, if the quality of the service to teach you is buns, you're going to be upset about the $50, right?
Yeah, of
course. If you land the trick and you actually can learn, even if you don't land the trick that day, if you have the tools to get farther than what you were before, people will still be happy.
Yeah, of course. And that's what the other thing I was going to say. Now, let's say somebody else in the park knows how to land the trick, but he's not up here in status. That's why I say status, because he knows the ins and outs of how to land that trick, so he can look at you once and be like, you're doing this, this, and this wrong. Right off the bat, you're doing this, this, and this is how you solve it. Now, he identifies the problem, and he gives you the solution step by step. So you're willing to give him $50, not only because his status, because he is a BMX pro, it's because he knows how to teach too, like you're saying, like, what if he doesn't even know how to teach? But I'm saying, like, in general, if you're a professional and you've been in the industry for so long, there's no way that you are not being able to identify a problem, have the solution for it, truly have the solution for it, and have the steps on how to. And if I give you it for free, you'll be like, oh, or how are you going to help me? And I'll show you, I'll go through it with you. Here's how it's going to look like. Here's the process of how it's going to be. Here's how many days you're expecting it to be, or an average if I help 50 people, and the average is between those 50 people. In a week, you're going to be able to land it, and you land it in that week. Bro, you're not only going to give him the 50, you're going to shout out to everybody around you, go to this guy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, if you're really, really, really good at something, and you know how to solve it, right? You're just lacking the ability to face a lot of no's. Sell it and get a lot of no's at first, but you're going to have that one yes that's going to make everything better.
Yeah.
You make 50 calls a day, let's say 100 calls a day. Yeah. You're not expecting everybody to say
no.
Exactly.
No.
So, and there's a lot of people who be like, I called 20 people and nobody. You know how many calls it takes? You know how many?
You know what God. Alex Hermosi told me? Another Alex Hermosi told me.
No, he's the best.
Bro, he said, first off, and he literally like stopped the whole podcast for a second. Was like, first off, if you're not double calling these people, and that doesn't mean, and I'm telling you as an insurance broker, that does not mean hang up, call them right back like 5 seconds after you just called them and send them a text. No, he means giving y'all juice. He means call them at whatever time you called them, whether it's 9:30, 10 o'clock, 7 p.m., whatever, and schedule the next call that you're gonna make with them. That could be. You notice how I didn't just say the second call. It's going to be the next one and the next one and the next one. Because if you are not willing to push that far until that person says, stop calling me, leave me alone, or I'm not interested, you are going to have to be willing to take that no.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to have to be willing, because then when you finally get a yes, it'll be such a shock. It's like, I really did it. Oh my God. Do not get caught up in the procrastination of, I don't think I'm ready yet.
Yeah, that's another lie. The way I got into it was just like somebody just grabbed me and just threw me into the deep end of the water and just figured it out. And it's scary, man. Like, people think that being an entrepreneur and being your own boss and being your own thing, it's scary because you go into it not wanting to go into it. That's the crazy part. Out of your mouth, you're like, I'm ready, I'm going to do this. I know everything.
That's why you tell everybody.
Yeah.
When you first start doing it, you start telling everybody.
And then you're like, and then you land a job or you land whatever, a client, and then you're like, am I ready? Can I do this? Oh my God, what if this happens wrong? What if I was like that for the longest time? Guess what? What if you handle them when they appear right in front of you? If something's gonna happen, but whatever you do, try to make it so strong that before you die, you every day you wake up saying, I need to complete this. A sense of urgency is needed for anything, because I think it's more 90% go with everything you have and 10% just chill a bit and let things like come to you instead of you forcing your way through things.
I can agree with that mostly. I'm gonna say about 85% for me, because I go hard at the paint for so long, and then I just get to a point where I'm like, bro, I gotta chill. Like, I do way too. I don't know how to stop. And then like it's to the point where like my girl's ready to fucking fight me. Like, she wants to fight me because I'm going too hard in this. And I'm like, no, I don't got time. I can't do that. And then something happens with our kid, and it's just like, I need to be there. You know what? Hey, I don't care. And I push everything away. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, this comes first. And it's a hard lockdown. But once you get out of that, you know, even then, not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna like your actions. So that comes with the territory of business and family. The work-life balance thing, whoever thinks that's real is, I'm sorry, bro. And I used to look at people who are entrepreneurs that were making it. And they're like, yeah, there's no such thing as work-life balance. And then I would see them like 10 years later, and they'd be like, they're either like freaking old and crippled, or they're like, yeah, so I learned how to let other people manage some of the stuff, and I take care of this a little bit, or they're divorced. You know what I mean? And that's really really it, bro. Yeah. Those are the like 4 to 3 options.
That's it, yeah.
So
but you brought up something important too, because even though we say it's like, you can't think of the past and you can't be thinking already of the future, because you're never going to be living the present. You're never in the present, man. And that happens to me a lot. I'm like, okay, I have a job tomorrow. How am I going to handle this? And I have to stop myself. That's another thing. That's why I say mentally strong. It's so hard to get something into your mind, because not all thoughts are yours. They come and go. So you have to catch yourself and be like, like, shut up, tomorrow's not here. It always goes good. And if it goes wrong, I know how to fix anything. Or mostly anything. And if it goes right to the worst of worst and I can't do it, I'll tell the client, hey, look, I really tried everything and I just can't do it. That's it. Just be real. But live the present, because if not, you're like, oh, I didn't get the 20. I didn't close the last client last week, and you're thinking about that, and then you're thinking about the future, and then you're never in the present.
Dude, people have foreshadowed their own failure before. Oh, this person's probably not even going to pick up. Well, I guess not. I guess not. Like, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave this specific subject on a Master Oogway quote. Shout out to Kung Fu Panda. Tomorrow is a mystery. Yesterday is history. But today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
Oh, that's good.
I fucking
That's
love.
good.
Oh, excuse me for
really
the cuss
good.
word, but I love that, bro. People told me since I was
Yeah.
young, like, bro, that's corny. I'm like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. That is real.
That's
bro.
powerful.
That is real. People who make Disney movies and stuff and kids movies, they're not just making it for kids.
No.
Go back and watch one of your favorite childhood movies. I'm telling you, you'll find some messages in there. I got one for people who may not know it, and I didn't know. People didn't know this one.
Maybe I don't
But
know
Lion King, some people have never seen that, and I didn't know that. So if you guys have a childhood movie, you got one?
A Bug's Life.
A Bug's Life. That's a good one.
Bug's Life.
That is a
Yeah.
really good one.
That was my favorite movie.
Go and check them out. They're probably on Netflix or something. I don't know. I'm not sponsoring them, but I'm just saying that check them out. They're really, really, Disney movies have a lot to hold. If you guys have a movie that you guys want to suggest, wherever you guys are listening, I know on YouTube for sure, you guys can leave us questions in the comments. And if you can't use whatever you're using to listen to us here, you can go to serwolfpro.com and shoot us an email, and we'll go ahead and check it out. See you guys then.
Yep.
A Wolfpack.